Hi guys, it's Carol from Cape Cod Cottage Garden, and today I'm going to plant out some brassicas. I have some broccoli and some Brussels sprouts to plant, so come along. So here are my seedlings. I wasn't even going to grow broccoli this year, so I didn't grow that much. I think I have 10 or 12, 10. I grew marathon broccoli and Waltham broccoli. Here's an example of the marathon. It's a pretty healthy looking seedling. Let's see. Well, these are both marathons. Looking nice. Let me look for a Waltham. Ah, here's a Waltham. So I have 10 of these, not too many. Last year it was just, my broccoli was decent. It wasn't awesome. The thing about broccoli is like you pretty much get one head and then the plant's done. You can use the side shoots, but they're so small. I do use them and I throw them in salads, but it's not like I can feed my whole family with them. And here is my Brussels sprouts, which were really good last year, so I'm hoping. Same variety, green gem Brussels. Here's just an example of the seedlings. I planted these on March 7th and I potted them up on April 4th. And today is April 29th. I checked the 10-day forecast. It's gonna start getting warm. So I gotta get these in the ground because as you know, these are cool season vegetables. And I think I'm gonna plant out this arugula too. Here we go. I have some of my green stalk. I already planted some in the garden over there. I'll show you. But that's what I'm gonna get in the ground today. And actually I have a whole tray of snapdragons and stalk. I think I might scatter those somewhere. My problem is, as usual, I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan, so I just wing it. So here's my dilemma, guys. Last year I planted my broccoli and my cabbage and my Brussels sprouts under this hoop house. It did great. I also planted some broccoli over there in that bed and it did just the same. Like I didn't have any issues with pests or anything. My issue is I really want to put a cattle panel trellis somewhere in my garden. And I feel like the only logical place it can go is from here to here. Because I have pumpkins I want to grow, squash, I've got a whole bunch of different kinds of cucumbers. I'd like to use that vertical space if I can. But in order to do that, I'd have to remove this. So that's why I just don't know where to put my broccoli. I don't know where. I really should have a plan, but I don't. I'll figure it out. What do you guys think? I was also thinking of putting the cattle panel down here, like have it going this way. That would create the least shade in my garden because the sun would be behind us. But it's very narrow here, so I don't know if it's a good place to put it. So I really think it has to go here. But then it will cast shade on the back of this bed. But I'll just put lettuce and other stuff in there, I guess. This is where I grew most of my beans and some peppers last year, but how can I be out of room in my garden already? I'll give you a peek at what's growing. Sorry for spinning. My peas are all doing really well. These ones from Fruition have germinated the best. Then I have the Sugar Snaps, and then I have Garden Sweet, and then I have Easy Peasy, which did the worst. So I went ahead and I planted just yesterday a whole bunch more peas because I don't like the way these germinated. These were old seeds, so that could have something to do with it. And I have some arugula growing here. I have a whole bunch of different lettuces growing, and I have some Asian spinach. More arugula over there. I had some extra, so I just popped them over there. And all my onions are in this bed. I have 3 different kinds of onions. Hopefully my onion video will be out before this. I have red Weathersfield. Oh, I also have Zabun shallots, Utah yellow, and Walla Wallas. So I decided to plant them in this bed. This is bed number 4 in my garden, and the cattle panel will be starting here and going over that way. So even if it does cast some shade, by the time that stuff grows up, the broccoli will be out. So the Brussels sprouts need a bit of room, so I usually plant them 1 foot apart, like so 1 per square foot. So I marked out my area here. Where did I start? So that leaves 2 feet at this end and 2 feet at this end to plant other things. I like to put flowers and stuff like that on the corners to make it look pretty. So they're a little closer than 1 foot apart, to be truth be told. And I already amended these beds, so I'm not going to amend it all. I'm just going to pop them in the ground. Oh, I really should try to wear my gloves. My daughter's getting married. I'm trying to make my fingernails look decent. I'm not succeeding. Ooh, these are ready to go. I'll show you a little closer. Look how beautiful. They're getting a little root bound, but not bad. So I got all the Brussels sprouts planted. There was only 5 of them, so it didn't take me very long at all. But I just wanted to show you the difference between Waltham broccoli and marathon broccoli, because there is a distinct difference. This is the marathon broccoli. See how it has like a blue cast to it? It's actually a really pretty foliage. And this is more just plain green. So the Waltham's more green and this has that blue cast. So I'm curious to see what the heads look like. I grew this last year, I just don't remember that difference. I treated them both the same, so it's definitely this plant. It's very noticeable when you separate the, maybe I can show you. If you separate the Waltham on this side and the marathon on this side, you can see that one's more blue and one's more green as I knock them all over. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant all 10 of these broccolis in this bed. I'm gonna off-center them a little bit to the Brussels sprouts and get them in the ground. So now I'm on the other side of the bed so I can reach easier, but I have all the Waltham broccoli planted right there. So I have the Brussels sprouts, the green gems there, my Waltham broccoli here, and now I'm gonna do a row of marathon broccoli. I did them off center, kind of like that. I do use this little square foot gardening square. I don't use it religiously. I don't go by the rules, but I do use it to kind of keep my spacing. I'll just kind of go like that and kind of estimate where the holes should be. So I do use it, just not the way it was intended, but let's see now. So I want to offset them from the others, so I'm going to do it like that. So I'm just going to put it in, this just keeps me from getting too close to the other plants. Like that. So that would be the middle right there, where I want to plant it. So I'm just going to put a hole where I want to plant it, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the last one right here. 5. There we go. So as you can see, I don't really use it the way it's supposed to be used. So now I'm just going to set the plants where I want to put them. This one needs water. This year I vowed I'm not going to have a lot of empty space in my garden, and I'm not going to go by the rules. I'm going to jam a lot of stuff in. Last year I had a lot of open space in my garden, and I want to use every square inch. I went by the rules last year, and I did okay. Did more than okay. I mean, I think my garden was great last year, but I want to plant more. I learned a lot, as you do. Every year you learn something. And last year was my first year growing vegetables on this type of scale. I had a very small garden. Prior to this, in my old house, it was like one of these boxes. Not even this big. I think it was 6 by 3. And these are 8 by 3 boxes. I like the 3-foot length because I'm short and it's hard for me to reach. Even though I watered these last night, this plant is a little dry, and look at, it's a little bit more root bound. So I would say the Marathon grew faster than the Waltham, because look at, this is a lot more root bound from the Waltham. So that'll do it for the broccoli and the Brussels sprouts. Now on to the arugula. So just as a side note, I did harden off all my flowers and vegetables for about 2 weeks, more or less. Some days were really stormy, so I had to bring them in, so it wasn't like a solid 2 weeks, but I did harden them off pretty well. It is bright and sunny today, so maybe my broccoli might get in a little shock, but I'm gonna give them a good water. I didn't show that on video, but I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna give them a good water and hope for the best. I'm gonna be traveling soon, so I had to get these in. It's pretty soon, it's gonna be 80 degrees here and they'll bolt. So I really wanted to get my brassicas in. So now onto the arugula. I'm gonna throw them in here with where I have my lettuce and my tatsoi, and you know, I'm not gonna follow the rules, I'm just gonna throw them in. Arugula, like other leafy greens, likes to be about 4 plants per square foot. Obviously, this is a lot closer. But like I said, rule breaker. Oh, gloves, gloves, Carol, gloves. So I'm just gonna put these in willy-nilly. Do one there. Oh, these are very wet. Can you see it? A lot of leaf litter in this bed from when I topped off over the winter. I don't really like it. One here. The reason why you're seeing all this perlite on top is because I dumped my liquid from when I was planting my onions. When I plant my onions, I kind of soak them in water to separate them. So all the dirt, I just dumped it in here. That's why you see all that perlite. See, I can't do this with my gloves. So much easier without gloves. So funny because I keep going to take my glove off, like unconsciously. I gotta take it off. I can't stand it. Okay. I don't try to disturb the soil too much, but I just like the area right around the plant so the roots have a chance to get in. But I don't go ahead and like till everything. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of stick my spade in because I can feel all the roots from last year in there still. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'll just kind of like loosen it, then make a little hole and put it in. It's so satisfying, guys. It feels like it's 80 degrees out. It's really, really hot. I'm actually getting a sunburn, but it's only 57, but the sun is really bright. Yeah. one more. Then I think I am going to plant some snapdragons and some stock. Gotta get it in the ground. Both of those plants I've never grown before, those flowers, so we'll see how it goes. I think I'm going to plant some for cut flowers in my cut flower beds, but then, let me turn the camera on. I think I'm going to plant some in my cut flower beds, but I think I'm going to plant some in front of my shed. I really want that to be like cottage looking, and I love those spiky looking flowers for like cottage gardens. My delphiniums are coming back from last year. I don't know if you saw my April garden tour. If you didn't, I will link it above. But in my April garden tour, I showed that how many perennials I planted from seed last year, like probably 200, honestly. And within 3 days, they were all gone. The bunnies came and ate them all. But lo and behold, some of them are coming back. I mean, not 200, but I think I have 3 delphiniums. I have about maybe 6 or more Echinacea purpurea coming back, and butterfly weed came back, and a few others. So I'm super happy that at least some came back. And now that I have the bunny fence, I'm hoping for good things this year. So let me go see what I have to plant for snapdragons and stock. Okay guys, so here are my snapdragons. These are all apple blossoms. These are apple blossoms. And then these are mostly Madam Butterfly with 2 rows of apple blossoms, but they look great. I'm gonna plant some of these out. I was gonna show that to you today, but my video got too long and I got too busy, so I'll have to save that for another day, but I promised you I'd show them to you, so here they are. So guys, the hardening off process has begun, as you can see. So I'm gonna take care of these plants right now. Some of these plants, it's the first day out, so I'm only gonna leave them out for an hour, and then I'm gonna put them in the shade for an hour, and then they'll go back in. My last frost was predicted to be April 25th. That's way early. I would never put these tender things out like my tomatoes or my peppers that early at all. I usually wait till the middle of May. So that's about 2 weeks away now because it's the end of April. So I'm starting the process. I want to really do a good job hiding them off so once they get out in the garden, they thrive. So that's going to do it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the content, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you'd like. And until next time, get out there and grow. Bye-bye.